All right, so the first two.
But did we even do anything?
Is that this one? Okay. So is this a mean or proportion?
It's a proportion.
Proportion. Says proportion. So you're going to use Z or T? Z. Is a hypothesis or confidence interval? How do you know? It says confidence interval. It says confidence, right? So, and then, because it's a confidence interval, you should check and see if it says how many. Does it say how many? No, it says find the confidence. Okay, good. So, I need to find my P hat and my Q hat. P hat is what? And you guys got 0.23?
Yes.
So then your Q hat is going to be 1 minus 0.23, 0.77. Find your margin of error. My margin of error is going to be my critical value times P hat, Q hat
Over n.
over n square rooted. So that's going to be, what's my critical value? 90%, my 90% confidence interval.
1.645.
Third table, 0.23 times 0.77 divided by n, 1404. And you guys got what? 0.1851.
0.0185 is what I got.
Wait, is that rounded? So what if we rounded one less? Is this a 4 or is this a 5?
It's a 4.
4?
I'm pretty sure it was a 4. I don't know.
Okay. 8, 4, 8, 4.
It was like 847, I
Okay.
think, or
Yes.
something like that.
Alright, so then when we do our second part here, we're going to do 0.23 plus or minus 0.0184. So then we're going to end up with 0.2116, comma 0.2484, which is going to round to 0.212, comma 0.248. So yeah, so maybe like give yourself some extra decimals here so that you don't get screwed up by that. Either rounding here later, if that makes any sense.
It was
Now,
4 or 5?
what was that?
It was the before
It
it
was
was
doing something. Look,
0.853.
Okay, so
type this in.
you guys look at this number here. I will look up. That's your first number. That's a 2. Go over from that 2 of them. If you're off by like this amount 2 on this part, so if you had like 0.210 to 0.214, then you're kind of you're all right. It's not that big a deal. Everybody understand?
3 sig fix it. No.
Yeah. Yeah, but along the way you should probably do 4 or 5. Because you want to round to 4, then you want to go 4. Problem number 2. What kind of is this a mean or proportion?
Proportion.
Proportion? How do you know? That's a proportion. Great. So is it Z or T? Z is a test or confidence interval? Confidence interval, how do you know? Estimate. So then check and see, is it a special case of that? Yes. How big of a sample? This is a minimum sample size. Find n. Find n problems. So my n, so I need to find my error. What's my error? Yeah, if you find the word within, you find your error. Right, so then my error is 0.2, so this is my E.
No.
Yeah, 0.02, 2%, 2 cents, 0.02. So, yeah, if you find N, I have to give you, if I don't give you N, I have to give you E. I have to.
That one.
Okay, so what do we got? We've got, my N is equal to N E. E is on the bottom, E squared. And then I think it's the critical value squared times P hat, Q hat. So what's your critical value? 576 times 0.64 over 0.02 squared. So what do you guys get for your final answer?
I got 38.3.
Nope.
No?
It's gotta be good enough. Did you guys use 0.02 squared down here?
Yes.
Yeah, but it didn't use the.
I thought you squared the whole thing.
Okay.
You squared these two. The other ones aren't squared.
Okay.
You didn't square all of it. What did you get? Emma?
I got 3813.
8.
I got 3822.2.
So did I. Yeah.
Oh, 382. This is 38.2.
Well, I said 383 because that's.
Yeah, then
Yeah.
round up to.
3822.114. Some of that 1, 2.
I got 2 more.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Just around the
Okay.
I'm locked on.
Okay, guys. Focus. You should get this. And remember, this is the minimum you need. So only when it's a minimum, you have to round up. So it should become 3,823 people. I think so, 38.2. And I was like, whoa, no. All right. Do 6. All right, so there is the final answer, 3823 from last time. And then, so it's right here. And we'll go over number 6. What kind of problem is this? Is it mean or proportion? Mean. How do you know? You have data. You have numbers. Right? So is it Z or T? T. Is it a test or converse interval? Test. Is it, how many samples is it? 2 samples. Is it independent or dependent? This is dependent. All right, which means you have to subtract these and find their differences. Good? All right, so your first step is going to be your H naught. And remember, the dependent's weird. You're going to use mu D. Is the first one bigger or smaller, or would they ask, would they claim? Do anything. What does that mean?
Not equal.
Not equals. That's your claim. So the first one's always going to be equals, and these are going to be equals what? 0. It's that weird
I hate
special
that
case.
mu D thing.
And we talked about that before, right? Because when you subtract them, you should get 0. So this is going to be do anything not equal to 0. So it could be less than or greater than. Does it change? Step 2, find your critical value. Draw a picture. So here's my picture. It's going to be left-tailed and right-tailed. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4. My degrees of freedom is 9. Everybody on board with the degrees of freedom being 9? Pam, what'd you get for your critical value?
2.262.
2.262?
Yes.
So you have negative 2.262 and positive 2.262 there. And then you're going to find your test stat. So you're going to put this into a list, right? L1, and you're going to do stat 1 bar stats on it to find your mean, your X bar, and your standard deviation. What are they?
1.7 for the X bar and 1.5 for the standard deviation.
1.5? Great, so then your test stat should be 1.7 minus 0, right, because that's what you get here. Everybody see this part here? Over 1.5 over square root of 10. And you got what?
3.597.
3.597? Good? Great, that's over here. So you're going to reject H naught. Which means there's enough evidence to... Was your claim that it changes, or was it claim that it didn't change?
It just didn't change.
Does it do anything? So you want it to, what do you want? You want it to do something? You want it to change. So support claim,
That the pill does something.
yeah,
He said it did change.
Yeah.
The pill does do something.
that pill does something. I don't know if it's good or bad, but it does something.
Yeah, we was.
So I have a question for you on the test.
Yep.
Do we have to write the numbers down below, or can we do L1, L2, and just
No,
let you know that we
don't
did
have
that?
to. But you should give me what, you should tell me what the X bar and your S are.
Okay.
I will need those. All right, do you guys want just a couple minutes to go through 5, or should we jump right into 5?
Go ahead and do it.
Go ahead and do it? All right. You know, why don't you guys take 2 minutes and at least write down try to get your test stat done for 5. Figure out the claim and the test stat. Just try to do those two.
Oh no, I was just gonna ask.
Yeah.
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 Like I did that.
Yeah, tonight. And then the videos will probably come.
Put these numbers into the calculator.
Oh, those are the ones I put into.
And then whatever list you have, you're using. So
It's that time of day where my brain is kind of going blank a little bit.
I'm just like losing. But I'm like, I did not fucking get 2 A's on math test to fail in class. Not happening.
Definitely doing the same thing that I did for both of the last 2 tests.
I just
Take
write-
one day to study and that's it.
I just write the question. Everything I'm setting is really small.
like she did.
That's how
But these
smart.
are word problems.
Long ass. Yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but
And honestly, I don't even think I'm gonna look at this piece of shit.
right.
I'm just gonna have exactly
I might look at it for like this problem only. And the rest it's like,
like that. Just like
All right, so this becomes a one sample t-test. You subtract them and then you no longer have 2 samples, you only have 1 sample.
You would say.
All right, so let's take a look at number 5. So my claim less than. So my H naught is that mu is equal to what?
79.5. 79,500.
Your H1 would be that mu is less than 79,500. And the thing that I'm concerned about, I'm not worried about, okay, so this will be, obviously it'll be a one-tailed test, left tail, so your critical value should be negative. Should be what would it be?
Negative 1.77.
1.415.
So that's 415.
Negative 1.4.
Oh, that's 415.
415?
That's 415.
no, they're right. Mine is the test stat.
No, because the answer is negative.
Pam, what'd you get?
I got negative 1.415.
Yeah.
But I'm checking it.
Okay,
Yeah, no.
negative 1.415, that's what it seems like everybody else has.
Yes.
Okay, now here's the thing I'm worried about. You guys need to make sure that when you do your test stat, it's going to be what you got in your sample, which was, what'd you get when you got the mean of this? Your X bar was what?
75.15.
75,150.
And your S was
693.7.
6937.7.
694 is good.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh.
perfect. So your test stat's going to be, if you did more, that's fine. It's okay, it's totally fine. It's going to be 75,150, not minus 0, because this is not dependent. Minus this part right here. This is your mu naught. Your mu naught is wherever you got your claim. Your X bar is where you got your sample. That's how you tell the difference. The X bar is your sample. The mu naught is what is in your claim. Everybody on board with that part? divided by 694, is that right?
6,000, yeah.
930, 6,900
No, 6,938.
and 38?
38, yeah, if you round.
38. Okay. Okay.
Square root.
Over square root of 8. And then you guys got what for that?
Oh, I got -1.
Yeah, negative one.
Okay, there you go. So then when you put that in, you're going to reject the null hypothesis, and you'll have enough evidence to support the claim that it's less than. Yeah.
So for the H naught and H1, if we put mu1 is less than mu2, is that the same?
There's no mu2.
Oh.
You only have one sample. You only have one
Oh,
population.
you're right. Okay.
Yeah. Alright. Good job, see you guys. If you want, again, if you want to take the test early tonight at 5 or 7:30.